Good day. I am Jacomi and Marino from EN2B. Now, this is my task, which is the settings. Okay, so Noli is set during the 19th century in the Philippines. Sectors of the society were represented as the noble provinces. The abusive clergy was represented by Padre Damaso and Padre Salve. The wealthy mestizo by the protagonist Crisosimo Ibarra. Meanwhile, the wealthy Endo was represented by Capitan Tiago. As such, the novel offers a straightforward analysis of Philippine society under Spanish rule. Thank you and God bless. So, again, I am Joycami and Lorena from BN2B. Now, this is an assigned task, which is the plot. Crisostomo Ibarra, mixed rice, leader of the Volta clan, returning home after 7 years in Europe and filled with ideas on how to better the lot of his countrymen. Striving for reforms, he is confronted by an abusive ecclesiastical hierarchy and Spanish civil administration by thorns indifferent and cruel. The novel suggests, through plot developments, that meaningful change in this context is exceedingly difficult, if not impossible. The death of Ibarra's father, Don Rafael, prior to his homecoming, and the refusal of Catholic burial by Padre Damaso, the power's press, provoked Ibarras into hating and the press, for which Ibarras is excommunicated. The decree is resented. However, when the Governor-General intervenes, the Faros and his successor, Padre Salve, embody the rotten state of the cleric. Their tangled feelings, one paternal, the other carnal, for Maria Clara, Ibarra's sweetheart and rich Capitan Tiago's beautiful daughter, still their determination to spoil Ibarra's plans for a school. The town philosopher Tasio rarely notes similar past attempts have failed to, and his sage commentary makes clear that all colonial masters fear that an enlightened people will throw off the yoke of impatience. Precisely how to accomplish this is the novel's central question, and one which Ibarra's debates with the mysterious Elias, with whose life he is entwined. The privileged Ibarra's favors peaceful means, while Elias, who has suffered injustice at the hands of the authorities, believes violence is the only option. Thank you and God bless. So again, I am Jaikami and Marina from BA2B. Now, this is my assigned task, which is the conflict. Okay, so at the center of Nolomitangri or Dutch Minat by Philippines national hero José Rizal is the conflict against Spanish colonialism. The Philippines, which is named after King Philip II of Spain, was ruled by the Spanish Empire as a colony from 1565 until the Philippines Revolution. Indeed, this rule in 1898. For his part in the Philippines Revolution, Jose Rizal was tried and convicted for rebellion, sedition, and conspiracy. His sentence was to be death by firing squad. Juan Crisostomo Ibarra, the main character of Noli Matengri or Dutch Minute, returns to the Philippines after 7 years' absence studying in Europe. He is betrothed to the Maria Clara, the beautiful daughter of Capitan Tiago. With this work, Rizal set out to write a novel that would expose the ills of Philippine society and in so doing created a passionate love story set against the backdrop of the political conflict against a repressive Russell. Thank you and God bless.
Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Rizal Jr. and this is a 4A. So my part in the novel analysis Noli is a plot. So Crisostomo Ibarra, mixed race heir of a wealthy clan, returning home after 7 years in Europe and filled with ideas on how to better the land of his countrymen. So Dr. Ibarra striving for reform. He is confronted by an abusive ecclesiastical hierarchy and a Spanish civil administration. My returns indifferent cruel. A5 conflict. So, Noli Me Tangere, Touch Me Not by Philippine national hero Dr. José Rizal is the conflict against Spanish colonialism and the Philippines ruled after the Spanish empires as colony from 1565 until the Philippine Revolution. The main conflict is between Crisostomo Ibarra and Father Salve. Yet Ibarra is also the conflict with Spanish colonial society as he attempts to reform the Philippine society to his though he is reluctant to realize the extent to which the dominant authorities oppose him.
Hey, good day ma'am. I'm Benjiboy Cabalbal and I'm going to discuss the 10 quotations of Nolemi Tangere. Number 1. A lie among the stars is a lie comfortable lie. Number 2. Walang mang-aalipin kung walang paaalipin. Number 3. The example could encourage others who only fear to start. Number 4. To be happy does not mean to indulge in foolishness. Number 5. The glory of saving a country is not for him who has contributed to its ruin. Number 6. Genius has no country. It blooms everywhere. Genius is like the light, the air, it's the heritage of all. Number 7. It is not criminal who use the hatred of others, but the men who are honest. Number 8. Cowardice, rightly understood, begins with selfishness and ends with shame. Number 9. Dying people don't need medicine. The ones who remain do. And the last one, number 10. Man is multiplied by the number of language he possesses and speak of all. That's all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I am Carla Igojo from BEd 3B. The introduction of Nolimitang Harry. The plot revolves around Crisostomo Ibarra, mixed race a wealthy clan, returning home after 7 years in Europe and filled with ideas on how to better of his countrymen. Nolimitang Harry it is a novel written by Filipino writer and national hero José Rizal and was first published in 1887 in Berlin, Germany. This novel was written to remind us the bad things that Jose Rizal experienced during his time by the Spanish. From the very start of his novel, the first plan of our national hero is to write his novel with the help of his countryman that is also suffering to the hands of the Spanish.
Noli Me Tangere begins at a dinner party hosted by Captain Don Santiago, a wealthy resident of Manila. Guests assembled at the party include other members of the upper class as well as friars of both the Dominican and Franciscan orders. During dinner, Don Crisostomo Ibarra arrives, the party being his first stop post returning from Europe. He is there to visit his fiancée Maria Clara, Santiago's daughter. However, the celebratory atmosphere soon turns tense as one of the friars, Father Damaso, becomes angry at Ibarra's arrival. After the party, Ibarra learns that his father, Don Rafael, died while in prison and Father Damaso had his corpse exhumed and removed from the Christian cemetery, dumped into a river. The dramatic tension between Ibarra and Damaso forms the central conflict. As Ibarra reacclimates himself to his homeland, he looks to apply his progressive ideals to make life better for the citizens of San Diego. After meeting with a school teacher, Ibarra's first act is to build a school. While he gains support from the local government, the religious order within the town views the project with suspicion. They begin to see Ibarra as a threat to their power, with Damaso in particular seeing him as a rival who must be put in his place. Ibarra and Maria Clara's relationship dates back to childhood. However, Damaso is the godfather of Maria Clara and opposes the marriage. He wishes to drive the two apart and eventually achieves. He arrives uninvited to a dinner party hosted by Ibarra and dishonors the memory of his late father, which baits the latter into retaliation. Ibarra physically attacks Damaso, holding him at knife point and threatening to kill him. Maria Clara intervenes and prevents Ibarra from completing the deed. But the damage is done. As punishment for the assault, Ibarra is excommunicated and thus the couple's engagement is annulled. The Captain General, the king's representative in the Philippines, intercedes on Ibarra's behalf. Once again, Damaso and his colleague Father Salve are disgruntled and see the Captain General's respect for Ibarra as a threat to their power. Salve's rule in the novel becomes more prominent after this incident, as he works on a scheme to take down Ibarra once and for all. Ibarra best friend Elias, Ibarra's best friend Elias, a fellow Filipino who is involved with a subversive group planning an uprising. Because Elias is knowledgeable of the town's underground, he is able to warn Ibarra of the attempts to have him framed and killed. Their friendship is unusual as they are not of the same class, but they have mutual respect for each other, and this respect enables them to strengthen their alliance.
Good day, everyone. My name is Rizal from BE Ed 3B. This presentation will be all about the analysis of conclusion in the novel Noli Me Tangere by Dr. José Rizal. Conclusion, the narration of Noli Me Tangere is primarily in the third person with intermittent changes to the first person plural. The plot of the story is basically linear with sporadic changes that provide historical context. Additionally, it has satirical overtones, particularly when the narrator depicts members of the affluent ruling elite. The story utilizes graphic language because it genuinely captures the brutality of the oppression. With its recognizable characters, Noli Me Tangere beautifully represented Philippine culture, the deplorable situation of the once beautiful, now tragic country was typified by the tragic end of Maria Clara and madness of Sisa. Reading Noli Me Tangere will help one develop their perspective on tyranny and oppression. Moreover, the novel's message, which still happens to be true now, is to support nationalism and learn to embrace change in ourselves. By upholding the law, fostering Philippine culture, and understanding the country's actual purpose by uniting with one another to enhance it, we must support our nation. And that will be all. Thank you. I am Rachel Katamko from BE Ed 3B.